66 million years ago, a morning begins like every other. The Yucatán coast glows under low Cretaceous sun. Warm, shallow waters shimmer above white limestone. Reefs teem with rudists. Ammonites drift in lazy spirals. Schools of bony fish flash silver. Mosasaurs, 30 feet of muscle and teeth, patrol the open water. Pteranodons glide on 20-foot wings, fishing the surface with sharp beaks. On shore, fern groves and cycads stretch inland. A herd of Edmontosaurus moves slowly through morning mist, heads low, cropping soft vegetation. Nearby, a Tyrannosaurus rex stands motionless at the riverbank, nostrils testing the breeze for blood. Nothing stirs the air with warning. No tremor, no sudden silence. The world breathes as it has for tens of millions of years. High above the atmosphere, a dark shape moves against the stars. 10 kilometers across, mostly stone and iron. A relic from the solar system's violent childhood, flung inward after 4 billion years in the cold dark. It has no name. It needs none. In the final minutes before everything changes, dragonflies hover above a slow river. A young ankylosaur scratches armored plates against a tree trunk. A family of small troodokids chases insects through leaf litter. Then, a second of impossible brightness. The sky turns pure white, brighter than noon, brighter than any dawn that ever was. The object crosses the atmosphere in less than a heartbeat. Air ahead of it becomes plasma. A spear of incandescent light rips downward. 2 seconds. That is all the Cretaceous world has left. It strikes the shallow sea near the present-day Yucatán Peninsula. 10 billion Hiroshima bombs of energy released in a single instant. The last day of the non-avian dinosaurs has begun, and it begins with annihilation. Impact. The 10-kilometer asteroid pierces the shallow sea at 20 kilometers per second. It does not slow. It does not burn away. It punches through water, through limestone, through crust, vaporizing everything in its path. In the first tenth of a second, a crater 20 kilometers deep begins to form. The shockwave races outward faster than sound. Air ignites. Trees 200 kilometers away burst into flame before the sound even reaches them. The Tyrannosaur at the riverbank never hears the roar. It simply ceases to exist. Then the real wave arrives. The impact displaces a mountain of water. A transient crater 30 kilometers deep collapses inward. Billions of tons of sea surge back to fill the void. A tsunami is born, not hundreds of meters high, but thousands. It races outward in every direction, across the Gulf of Mexico, across the Proto-Caribbean. Within minutes, it will wrap the entire planet. But the fire comes first. Molten rock, ejecta, begins to rain down. Glowing spheres the size of houses, the size of cars, the size of fists. They fall across continents. Forests ignite. Oceans boil where they strike. The sky becomes a furnace. In the darkness beneath the spreading ejecta cloud, the last surviving dinosaurs still breathe. Some run, some huddle, some simply stand, stunned, as the world catches fire around them. The day is only minutes old, and already half the life on Earth is burning.
Yet the worst is yet to come. The darkness is gathering. Minutes after impact, the sky is no longer blue. It is molten orange, streaked with black. The ejecta blanket, billions of tons of vaporized rock, has begun its deadly fall. Glowing droplets of melted crust, some the size of footballs, some the size of mountains, plunge back to Earth. They strike at thousands of degrees Celsius. Forests explode into flame across North America. In what will become Montana, a vast fern prairie becomes an ocean of fire in seconds. In the Proto-Pacific, entire island chains ignite like torches. Seawater boils where incandescent boulders land, sending up geysers of steam that rise into the burning sky. The air itself is poison, sulfur from the vaporized gypsum.
And still, the rain of fire continues. Some pieces of the asteroid itself, fragmented in the atmosphere, reach the ground as incandescent meteors. They punch through canopy, through bone, through soil. Each impact site becomes a new furnace. Yet, amid the chaos, pockets of survival flicker. Small mammals huddle in burrows. Crocodilians submerge in rivers that have not yet boiled. Bird-like theropods, already feathered, shelter beneath fallen logs. They do not know it yet, but they are the future. The fires will burn for days. The heat will linger for weeks, but the true killer is already rising. Darkness. Not night, not storm. A winter without end is beginning to close in. A howling wind, ash falling like black snow, a low, mournful drone that seems to come from everywhere at once. Hours have passed, days. The fires still smolder across continents, but the sky has changed forever. The ejecta cloud, trillions of tons of dust, soot, and sulfuric acid, spreads into a global shroud. Sunlight is blocked, not dimmed, blocked. Photosynthesis stops. The temperature plunges. Within weeks, the world enters a nuclear winter without the bombs. Plants wither, leaves blacken and fall. Forests that survived the fire now starve in the cold dark. The last hadrosaurs wander dying valleys, ribs stark against skin, searching for ferns that no longer grow. Music, slow, glacial strings, a single repeated cello note like a heartbeat slowing. In the oceans, the plankton base of the web food collapses. The water cools. Marine reptiles that ruled for 100 million years, mosasaurs, plesiosaurs, grow weak, then still. On land, the cold kills faster than hunger. Small theropods, feathered and shivering, huddle in burrows that offer no warmth. Crocodilians sink into the mud, metabolism dropping to near zero, waiting for a spring that may never come. Yet some endure. Mammals, small and nocturnal, already adapted to darkness. Frogs buried in frozen mud. Seeds locked in soil, waiting. Birds, true descendants of dinosaurs, cling to existence in sheltered ravines. The darkness lasts years. Some models say a decade, others longer. The precise length remains one of the great unanswered questions. When the shroud finally thins, when faint sunlight returns, the world is silent, empty of giants. And in that silence, something new begins to stir. The age of mammals. The slow climb toward intelligence, toward tool use, toward language, toward us. But that story is still millions of years away. For now, the Earth lies wounded, breathing in the dark, waiting for the next dawn. Years have passed, perhaps a decade, perhaps more. The shroud of dust and soot has finally begun to settle. Sulfuric acid rains have washed much of it into the oceans. The sky, once an unbroken veil of black, now shows patches of bruised gray. Then, slowly, miraculously, blue. Sunlight returns, weak at first, like a memory of warmth. It touches barren landscapes, charred plains, frozen mud, the skeletons of giants half buried in ash. The first plants to reclaim the silence are the survivors, ferns, tough and low-growing, sprouting from spores that waited in the soil. Cycads push green spears through cracked earth. Angiosperms, flowering plants that were already rising before the impact, begin to flower again, their seeds having endured the long dark. In the recovering forests, small creatures emerge, mammals no larger than rats, eyes wide, whiskers trembling. They nibble at new shoots, breed in hidden burrows, begin to fill the empty niches. Crocodilians crawl from river mud, sluggish but alive. Turtles, ancient even then, surface in cooling ponds. And birds, true birds, feathered descendants of once mighty theropods, take to the sky once more. Their ancestors had already learned to fly before the asteroid came. Now, in the silence, they sing the first songs of a new world. The recovery is slow, millions of years slow. Entire ecosystems must rebuild from fragments. The food web, shattered, knits itself together again, link by fragile link. No more titans roam the plains. No more 30-meter sauropods shake the ground. The age of giants has ended.
In its place rises something quieter, more adaptable, more persistent. The mammals diversify. They grow larger. They learn new ways to survive. Some take to the trees, some to the sea, some to the night. And deep in that lineage, unseen, a small primate will one day look up at the stars and wonder where it all began. The Earth heals. Not quickly, not completely, but enough. Enough for life to try again. Enough for us, eventually, to exist. Millions of years have passed since the sky burned and the world went dark. The crater at Chicxulub is buried beneath limestone and jungle. A faint ring of hills still traces the wound, visible only from space. A silent scar the earth wears like an old memory. From the ashes rose new forests, new oceans teemed with new forms of life. Mammals grew larger, walked upright, shaped stone, kindled fire, looked at the same stars and asked the same questions. We are here because of what was lost, because the giants fell, because the darkness lasted long enough to erase the old order, because a handful of small, warm-blooded survivors kept breathing through the long winter. Music, gentle, ascending strings, a sense of vast time unfolding. The Chicxulub impact was not the only mass extinction. There were 5 great ones before it, and the Earth recovered each time, but this one was different. It cleared the stage so completely that the next act could be ours. And yet, questions remain. How many other worlds have seen such a day? How many quiet mornings ended in sudden white fire? How many lineages were severed in a single heartbeat, leaving only silence where once there was thunder? We dig into the rock, we read the iridium layer, we model the darkness, we listen to the fossils. Each discovery answers one mystery and opens three more. The last day of the dinosaurs was not an ending, it was a beginning dressed in fire and night. Somewhere, deep in the strata of time, a single moment changed everything. We carry its echo in our bones, in our curiosity, in the way we still look up at the sky and wonder what might fall next. The earth keeps turning, life keeps trying, and the story is far from over.